back of the pack and down the lap with no one on my six. If I'm going to grab that chicken flag, I've got to clear that mix. I slammed the pedal down to the metal and I found another gear. I rode the draft, flew right past the driver of the year. I said, vroom, vroom, vroom. Lord, slide sideways, vroom, 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 and the crash bang boom.
Imagine Mr. White being that white vehicle right there, since they're saying that this is a straightaway. But now, Officer Knotts is actually in the southbound lane. Can you see what's ahead of you? If you follow, imagine that truck. Can you see? You see that the road turns around.
Let me go back. See where that car is way back there? Yep. See that right there, right behind that truck, Ellie?
Yep, I see it. You can't see what's beyond even the fast break with somebody coming around that bend.
This is the gas station where the witness was sitting. Can you see her?
Can't see her. Can barely see it.
Can you see anything past that telephone pole on that blind curve?
Nope.
Nope.
The only time you can see it is past that truck right there, right?
Yep.
The little truck beyond the semi.
Yep. Now just go up another couple seconds. You can't see anything if you're in the other lane.
No.
Nope.
Because you can see how that yellow line curves. Yep. It's not a straight line like right in front of us where we are right now. It actually curves up on that left side, curves around.
Yep.
Because there's nothing straight about it.
Officer Knotts is most likely where this truck is.
Right, John?
Yep.
I would think Officer Knotts is right in this lane right now. Chirping.
No, not chirping. Chirp. One, singular.
Oh, that's right. That's right. One single chirp, chirp, chirp. Okay, he's right here. Probably right around where that truck back end is. Because here's the left where Mr. White is getting into. Mr. White testified that he saw the lights. He turned his turn signal on probably even before this. But Knotts is over here. He is paying no attention to this man's back lights at all. He's over here already. He has no indication at this point that Mr. White is going to make anything other than straight ahead.
And it is at night versus we're seeing it during the day. It is not a very well-lit area. Okay, right. 8:30 at night, it's dark. You only have the light from the stores or small illuminations. They don't illuminate very large. You couldn't see the road. You couldn't see the easement. You could only see just on that vehicle. It doesn't illuminate a lot. They're ambered lights.
Anywhere along that road, if he would have pulled over and some car come around there, he would have been halfway on the road.
That easement or whatever, the white line right there, is probably only half a car length. So if he pulls over there, he can only put half of his car over there.
Okay.
Well, see, there it's even less.
We are only 3 seconds into the journey around the bend. At this point, it would only take 3 seconds for another vehicle to rear end you. If you're assuming that if he pulled over here, that it would take 3 seconds for the next car to catch up to him and ran right into the ass end of him, right?
Yep.
Let's continue and see where Mr. White can pull the fuck aside to the right. And
to be honest, the only thing he could have done is maybe get one tire on there.
Have your car sticking out on the road on a blind bend. I ain't sitting there. Are you?
No.
No way.
No. Might as well just go.
So now we know the cop would have just passed.
Well, and again, they both testified that there was nobody in front of him, correct? Yeah. So who else would Mr. White think that he was pulling over except for him? There was nobody else there for him to pull over but him.
No,
exactly.
Right.
Best thing he could have done would be to lock him up, stayed in his lane.
Right. And that's what the law states. Stay in your lane. If there's nowhere to pull over, stop dead. Let them go around you.
But
as far as the right as
let
possible.
him go around you means that like I said, the chirp is for when he pulls up on you and slows down and you ain't moved out of the way. He chirps, get out of my way and I'm going to keep on going. Not you chirp and then keep on going 70 miles an hour. You have to have your sirens on and your lights on to continue doing that kind of speed. Continuous, not chirping, not shutting your siren off, not shutting your lights off, but continuously running your lights and siren in an emergency situation.
Which is what he was supposed to do.
Right. Which he even at his own admission said he didn't do that. I mean, how retarded is that?
And did Officer Deputy Knotts use his turn signal? Nobody mentioned that.
Nope.
Nobody
That's what I
mentioned.
said. He never said that he used his turn signal. Nobody even asked him if he used it. Of course he didn't, because he's above the law.
No, he was in his emergency capacity. You don't have to follow the law when you're in your emergency capacity, I guess. Huh?
You most certainly do.
An emergency call called in by the DEA. That's funny, isn't it? Listen, the DEA used an emergency service to call a deputy in.
That's funny.
Fucking weird.
Hey, I told you. Hey, listen, what happened? The FBI didn't used to like to deal with local police, sheriffs, the DEA.
Wasn't the 911 system set up so citizens had quick contact with the police, not police to police?
All right.
Well, and they didn't want Knots. They just wanted Hacker.
Oh, come on, Hacker.
Tank and
Hi, Hacker.
well,
Come on.
all of ours.
Hacker, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Oh, that's a good boy. Watched you. He's walking pretty good, huh? Is there any indication of what happened to his back? Is it a broken or?
No, he is fine. He got cleared by the neurologist.
He was just along for the ride.
Yeah, poor Hacker.
Oh man.
They weren't calling Knots because they needed his assistance. They were calling Knots because they needed Knots to bring Hacker.
Poor attack dog. Oh, poor attack dog.
Hacker hacked up a few teeth that night.
Now they can really call him Hacker with those titanium teeth.
We're here at 3 seconds. Would you pull over in 3 seconds, Mr. White, or Mr. Thin Blue Line Slayer, or Miss Ellie?
Dude, I'd probably think the same thing as him. Oh, here I go again. You know me, I'm thinking the same thing.
Right. Let's go.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Well, let's go a couple seconds more. I'll advance it. Okay. Now watch.
Yeah, it's way up there.
60.
Yeah, it's a good ways up there.
Okay. That's 3 seconds more.
Yeah.
Could you have pulled up here in 6 seconds? Or could you have made a complete
In 3
stop
seconds.
in 6 seconds and have been safe?
I don't know, Dan. You know, you're looking at Mr. White too. I mean, he's been pulled over before so many times. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if,
All right.
like I said, if it was me, in his mind frame, I probably would have done what he done, but I don't know.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and get rid of this video right now. Bam! Right here. 8 seconds. He was in this lane. He was already passing. He was in this lane. He was already passing.
I don't know if it doesn't really matter what Mr. White was doing. The
No.
officer should have come up on him slow, hit his beepers or whatever, made him aware of what he's doing, made aware of what the car was doing on a 2-lane road that narrow, then went around him. He didn't fly in and then flip on the that's all bullshit. That was all that cop's fault. Who cares?
Right.
what Mr.
Now,
White did?
now look. Now watch. If you can
That's
if you
what cops where I grew up did. They get back beep, beep, and then go around. I don't know where these cops grew up at.
I cleared the pack and they never looked back. Like a lucky dog, I caught that caution flag. Once the track is clear and we got the green, I'll set a fire to that gasoline. Them racing girls been cheering me on, a redhead, brunette, dirty blonde. Racing girls, I'm 95, champagne at the finish line. Some do it for the trophy, some do it for the cash. We do it for the racing girls, even if we crash. Our race days got started, our race days will bloom. Lord, don't let our race days go crash, bang, boom. I said, vroom, vroom, vroom. Lord, I'm sliding sideways, vroom, 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 when the crash, bang, boom.